Hey everyone, Don Maguccione here. We're at the house bar on Saturday morning. Don't worry, this is just coffee. It's part of my New Year's resolution is no spiked coffees in the morning. Sort of kidding, but I figured it'd be a nice segue into talking about New Year's resolutions. So for those of you out there who have made New Year's resolutions and you're rocking them out, that's great. Maybe you can get some ideas here on how you can keep it going throughout the entire year and really adopt that goal, that lifestyle change, whatever the case may be. For those of you who are having a little bit of a struggle with New Year's resolution or maybe haven't followed through on something and are feeling that you're going back into the same old pattern, I'm hoping that this video might give some perspective on how you can reframe your goals, maybe start them over, maybe do something totally different and feel good about them and feel like you're having a success. So first of all, if you are struggling or you haven't followed through on the goal, I want you to start thinking about that as a good thing. What, like, how could that be a good thing? I failed. That's not a good thing at all. I set out to do this thing and I didn't follow through on it. Well, hear me out. If you did fail at something, let's say you said, I'm going to exercise every day in the morning for 30 minutes and you haven't been doing it. Well, if you haven't been doing it, there's probably some reasons why. So we will talk about that a little bit too. But if you fail at something, it's a good thing because you learned something in that experience. You might have learned that it's not realistic based on your routine. It was too much too soon. You might have learned some barriers to achieving that goal. And if you really take the time to analyze it instead of just fixating on failing, you might be able to make some positive changes and utilize what you learned to come back even stronger and accomplish those goals. So, a couple points about New Year's resolutions. If we're going to think about it as a lifestyle change rather than a tangible set goal, that might be something that continues to help you aspire. So if you think of a behavior change, first of all, you want to think about it in a positive term. So something like starting an exercise routine is pretty easy to see as a positive. So I'm going to exercise, I know it's good for me. And then we can talk about the frequency a little bit and what might be more realistic to help sustain it. But let's say you're making a resolution to stop doing something like spiked coffees. No, but seriously, if you're giving something up like sugar, alcohol, or you're reducing the amount, whatever the case may be, if you're cutting out processed foods, you know it's a good thing. Obviously, that's why you're saying I'm making a resolution to give it up. But part of you enjoys that, let's be honest, like for whatever reason. So if you're going to be cutting something out that you enjoy doing, and that's really what you're fixating on is I'm giving this up, like your subconscious is going to be talking to you like, this is terrible. I really want my snack. I want my spiked coffee, whatever the case may be. So what you have to think about is go like really think about why you're giving it up. So you know it's not good for you. Okay, that's a little bit broad, but if you do give up a certain behavior or food or drink, you make that change, even if you're giving something up that you enjoy or you're giving up or reducing, you have to think about the benefit you're going to get from it. And that's what you have to think about every day when you check in about your goal. The benefit I'm going to get from stopping eating processed sugar or benefits, I'm going to have more sustained energy levels throughout the day. I'm going to be healthier overall with my blood work numbers. I might lose some weight. Whatever the case may be, my blood sugar is going to be more manageable if that's part of it. You have to make a list of all the positives and the benefits that you stand to get from making that lifestyle change. And think about something more healthy that you could do instead of that behavior, whether it's a behavior or a snack. So that's something that's really going to help you sustain that success. And maybe it also, if it's a food, maybe it's not just stopping cold turkey. Maybe you give yourself an opportunity once a week to have it and you enjoy it. You don't feel guilty about it. And you manage it that way, or you do a gradual reduction if that's not realistic to stop all at once. So that's tip number one. There is frame everything in a positive. So even if you're cutting something out, you have to convince yourself of the benefits you're going to get and really feel good about that, or it's probably not going to sustain in the long term. So the other thing we talked about was making something a lifestyle change. So if you make a goal that, maybe one of your goals is to run at a 5K, if you train for a 5K and you run it, you probably might think to yourself, well, what now? Same thing if you make a goal, I'm going to lose 5 pounds because I gained 5 pounds in the holidays. You lose the 5 pounds, what now? So think about a topic or a theme related to a goal. If you're doing a tangible goal like losing 5 pounds or like running a 5K, lifting a certain amount of weight, think of a theme that's going to be related to that, that's going to help you strive to want to continue the progress after you achieve the tangible goal. That's a trap that I've fallen into in the past is, oh, I'll make this short-term goal and I'll get it and that's great. But then I'll just say, oh, I got it, so now I'm going to have some chips, or, just kind of forget about the progress that I've made, go back to the usual routine, the work, the grind, and it doesn't really get me anything that I'm looking for long term. So tangible goals are great, but try to link them to something that's more unattainable, not unattainable, but something you strive for and it's more long term, so you can make it a lifestyle change and not just a short term. So I hope that was helpful as far as tips and tricks about New Year's resolutions. It's a great thing to do, and also like going back to the whole topic of failure is a good thing. If you fail at a New Year's resolution, didn't follow through on it, so what? I mean, you could start one right now. You could make a January 18th resolution. You could make a February 2nd resolution. Whenever you want to make a change, there's never a bad time. So think about it that way as well. There's nothing magical about the new year. Maybe some of us get some time off, which is great, to reflect a little bit. There's that milestone of it's a new year, a new decade. But if at the end of the day, if you really want to make a change, you'll find the motivation. You can do it. So hope this helps. Shoot me a comment if you have any feedback, if you have any questions. Happy to engage around this topic about goals, goal setting, especially around health and fitness. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.